I'm dreaming of the road again, set free in the wind.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm kind of going to give you a little update on everything that we're doing on our homestead, aka our property. I'm going to do a couple of chicken chores and then we can get a little chatty. If you're new here, I actually now have a vlog. I used to just have chickens, but I upgraded kind of around the month of March of 2025. Started out with getting 6 rowan ducks or ducklings and 8 chicks from Royal King. Few weeks and then also a month passed. After the few weeks, I ended up getting 13 more chicks that were supposedly all female, and so far that seems to be true. It's actually July by the time I'm filming this. I have no idea when you will see this. It could be a month later, August or something like that. Behind me, I obviously have a video to where I show where I built a duck coop. This is actually considered a chicken coop. I got it to make a duck coop, and we even made a little duck house all from scraps. And I even have more pallets over here that I really wanted to use to make another house for my chickens, but I ended up getting more. And now actually my ducks and chickens all go together. And I've gotten some questions about if I have any issues with my ducks and chickens, and no, I actually don't. I will start having issues though if I don't eliminate the drakes, because my ratio is completely outnumbered. Actually, I'm not going to use it for the duck. We are actually going to extend our chicken coop as well as trying to find a different housing scenario, because eventually I would like to hatch out my own chickens, but that's if I have a rooster. If I have a rooster, then I actually want a hen to lay on the eggs and hatch them themselves and be a mother chicken per se. So far, I just kind of enjoy chickens more than ducks. And honestly, people say that ducks are messy. I feel like that's only if you keep them confined or they don't really have a actual water source. So behind that duck coop is actually a creek. It can dry up if we don't get rain. So far we get rain and it stays. So they have like a constant water source. Obviously having a pasture raised, yes, some poop everywhere. There's just a big area that everyone can go that it's really not too bad. So behind me, husband is actually starting to build something else. Just kind of like area to where we can put extra stuff. That way it's not in his garage and he could have more room for his garage. I currently have a front loader. I'm really only filming this video just kind of like as a filler video because I film a lot of content and then it takes me a while to edit just because our life is so busy. We're always constantly doing something, and I have also returned back to work. I'm now on day shift, so I can't really take the free time that I get on midnight shifts to really edit and catch up like I was doing. So the month of July and probably after that for a few months, I will actually be on day shift. So a little bit less time on my end as well, and I've just been more hands-on with our boys. And speaking of our boys, we actually started homeschooling. It's really not technical, it's more like the preschool. Obviously kids really don't need preschool, and everything that we're doing we've already been doing. Library trips, coloring, painting, reading, counting, color, like everything that we really have been doing. I'm just considering it like schooling. And I only say that just because my oldest is actually 4 and the youngest will be 3 here in a few months. So I'm just kind of doing it just to get in routine for myself and obviously like to help them. But the way I am doing it, I am not doing homeschooling to where we have like a summer break, basically how the public schools do it. I am just going to do homeschooling as it's just going to be the entire year with some small breaks, maybe like a week or 2 or a few days off. Everything I feel like can be educational, whether we're cooking, whether we're doing something on the equipment piece and working with Austin, or we're out here taking a hike and we see tracks, we see tadpoles, like anything could be educational. So I just feel like that's really important at this age, because from the ages between the ages of being born to between 5 and 7, they're like sponges. So I just feel like these are very crucial years and I could use that to my advantage. And our boys love being hands-on, and I feel like I can just get to learn how they will learn. So just kind of like for my benefit of just starting now instead of kindergarten level and so on and so forth. Soon I will actually be doing like a video to where it's like a week long of like homeschooling, kind of showing you that, as well as like the tips I use for socializing our boys, because I get a lot of questions of that in our family of how are you going to socialize them? That's everyone's fear. And one of the comments I like to say is there's a lot of people who are in public schools who actually don't know how to socialize very well because they just teach you to sit down, hush, and do your work and go on about your business. Whereas homeschooling, you can use it to your advantage. Basically, I can surround our boys around adults, teenagers, toddlers to infants, and I find that to be like a beauty in homeschooling. There's a lot more other stuff that I can do, and to be quite frank, our boys are so well with socializing. A couple months ago, there was actually a video that I did to where it was like a week of solo parenting. We went to Waffle House, and the people that like held the door open for us, the oldest said his name, how old he was, and he said hello. I didn't even tell him to do that. He did that himself. By the time we sat down, the waiter was asking our order, and he said, "Hi, my name is blank. I am this age," and was showing him their toy. So they socialize really well. And if we go through McDonald's drive-thru to get pancakes in the morning, they actually want their window down so they can say hi to the person that we're paying and hi to the person that's giving us the food. They love socializing. They love talking to people, and I find that to be an advantage personally for myself. So I really have no fear of this homeschooling journey. It's just more so of doubting myself, and I feel like it's just going to work. If you have any more questions about the homeschooling journey, there are going to be a few videos that are going to come up probably in the next month or two when I catch up on editing and stuff. But like I said, this video is just kind of a filler of just updating you, so by the time this comes out, there's probably going to be more stuff. Like, this is probably going to be finished because he plans on adding a roof here soon. What else is there to update you all on? So we actually started to waterproof our basement. Actually the Hubs and my brother and Hub's friend actually came over. Oh, and also the brother-in-law. And I took one day of helping too. So it took a crew to do this, let me tell you, and it was brutal, but we got it done. So that's completely done. And then this buy land, remodel a house, do the homesteading life, they say. Basically, it's a bunch of rock, water, and concrete to be 8 inches around the border. So we're out there scooping it. I literally planned on reading this morning before having to pick up the boys. Here we are. I'm gonna have to take a break soon and eat an apple or something because my sugar's dropping. I haven't had breakfast yet. It's almost noon, and it was either pay about 12 grand to have a company come do this, or we do it. So now Austin has me and my brother doing this. Lucy. Yeehaw. I think after this, the next project before winter hits will be doing our front porch. It is like falling apart. Actually, so after that, I think our next goals will be like after winter hits, we'll actually be doing the boys' bedroom as well as remodeling our current bedroom, and then we actually plan on taking our 2-bay garage and turning those into bedrooms. We actually did this with our last house. I think there's a video of to where we're like remodeling and we added a 3rd bedroom to that house. If you want to go back to those videos and check it out. Honestly, my last videos from like the past year and a half are a little awkward, a little, you know, whatever, but we love growth. Okay, let's be so for real. A lot of busy stuff. Like, we're in a busy season, but like we're not at the same time. I'm just kind of learning how to be slow pace, simple living, as well as we're kind of fast paced because we're kind of like in between seasons. Our toddlers are just kind of entering a new phase, as well as we are trying to build up this property that we got. A reminder, it was vacant for about 3 years, just sitting here. We did have it logged, so honestly this past year and a half we have taken the time of just cleaning up the mess from the logging company. The mess wasn't as bad as like some logging companies will do, but it was still a mess. We're actually still on the journey of trying to be debt free, and like I said, the only thing we owe on right now is property, house, everything. And maybe one day I can kind of go in depth with how we've done that, because we are kind of considered young, and doing everything that we're doing, we're giving up a lot of sacrifices, as well as my husband. Like, he's working crazy hours so we can like get everything situated, and so our boys can have a blessed childhood. Basically it's just like a recap of everything that we've kind of done. I have vlogged a little bit. Oh, we also did our flower bed. I think I kind of have a film that from a month ago that I have yet edited. So after this I really need to do a couple of chores and go in and try to edit 2 videos, have those pre-uploaded, and hopefully get back on a decent schedule. It's just been so busy, and I appreciate everyone who is being patient and still following along on this journey. I do kind of post some short content here on YouTube as well, if you just kind of want to see some of the country or like morning in the lives. It's nothing like in depth, but hopefully it can kind of still relate to these longer content videos. So I have a garden, oh my gosh, which, to be quite frank, it's doing decent, but the deer ate my peppers and squished some of my squash. Austin ran over my cantaloupe plant that was growing with the skid steer. Actually, I was talking to Austin about the duck coop and actually just moving it up to where the garden is currently and just turning it into a greenhouse. And if we decide we want to build a different greenhouse, go for it, but just to kind of save money, just kind of rig this, put some plastic over it, and just try to make it into a greenhouse so I could start seedlings earlier next year. Because I did it this year, but then it was just really cold and I moved them into our garage, but it was still cold in our garage. It's just all a learning curve. Trick of the game is just live and learn, and just try to find the beauty in it and enjoy all the moments, honestly. Sometimes these like baby chicks will lay down and chillax, and I have to stare at them for a minute to see if they are deceased or if they're just chilling. So love that. Hopefully you kind of enjoyed this like little recap of everything that's going on here. We're doing good, we're great, we're fine and dandy. Honestly, this is just the most peace I have felt in my entire life. I hate to say it like that, but I had a crazy childhood and teenager years, as well as my husband did. So the fact that we are blessed with this lifestyle and getting to just give a safe place for our boys is just such an incredible blessing. I am entirely thankful. Also, real quick, probably maybe it's like 2023, like January of 23, I made a 300 list. Something that Steve Harvey recommended, and he was like, you write a list of 300 things you want to pray for and ask for from the Lord. And I was kind of going through like, one was like a wood burner. There's a couple other things, as well as at least 10 acres, just some stuff. And the fact that we were blessed with this property that came with waterfalls and places that we can take our boys hiking, and we had a wood burner put in. There's a video on that as well, but there's just so much that's just like, you know, learning to be patient in the waiting and just enjoying the waiting, because God is always doing something behind the scenes, whether you realize it or not. So I'm just really grateful and thankful, and trust me, I don't take advantage of these days. And I'm thankful that you're kind of watching and following along on this journey. So if you have any questions, put them down below and I will try to respond as soon as possible. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you aren't already and you want to definitely subscribe. What?
Huh?
Okay, well. Got it?